Hello, BookTube. I've got a little bit of mail for you today on a very gloomy Saturday. Chilly, cold, rainy, dark. The only thing missing is howling wind to complete the picture. A certain someone has pretty much given up on energetically pursuing the day. It's gross. It's just gross, and it's going to stay this way for a little while. So I am hunkered down with reading. It may be disappointing in terms of strolling around in warm sunlight, which I now do not believe is ever going to return to New England. But it has been great for reading. This has been a great last few days for reading. I've done almost nothing else. After all, when my obligations to my little dog dwindled to almost nothing. She doesn't want to go outside. So when my obligations to her dwindle to almost nothing, the only thing left is reading and writing. They just take over. So I've done a huge amount of reading, and I'm hoping that some of the things in this, I've got two packages to look at, one package and one box. We'll see if one or both of these are something that I'm going to read tonight. I've got a full docket of reading tonight, but I can add to it, definitely. So let's see what this first one is. That's a finished copy of something. That's good. What have we got here? Oh, it looks like historical fiction. Do we have a pub sheet? No, we don't. Okay, this is by Nicole Galland. That really rings a bell. And this is called Boy, a novel. Who is who when all the boys and girls are merely players? All right, so I don't have a sheet, so let's just read from the dust jacket. This is going to be a $30 hardcover. I'm assuming in April sometime, maybe early May. Alexander Sander Cook is the most celebrated boy player in The Chamberlain's Men, William Shakespeare's theater company. Indeed, Sanders' androgynous beauty and deft portrayal of female roles have made him the toast of London, and his companionship is sought by noble women and men alike. And for those of you who maybe aren't up on your Shakespearean history, boy players were the people women couldn't act on the stage in Shakespeare's day. All the great female roles that you know in Shakespeare were all played by boys. No women played them in Shakespeare's day. And so in order not to have the farce of a big hirsute man playing, Lady Macbeth or Desdemona, you have boys doing it instead. And they had a whole guild of their own. It was very powerful. And yet, now at the height of his fame, he teeters on the cusp of adulthood, his future uncertain. Often he wishes he could stop time and remain a boy forever. And a lot of boys in Shakespeare's day faced that prospect. They had no other talents. They could move on to other roles, but if they'd achieved fame as a boy actor, you don't want to start at the bottom again, especially since the male actors, the male part actors in your troupe probably wouldn't want the competition. A lot of the successful boy actors in Shakespeare's day went to extreme measures to try to prolong their status. But I should stop interrupting the dust jacket, shouldn't I? Joan Buckler, Sanders' best friend, also has a dream. Though unschooled, she is whip-smart and fascinated by the snippets of natural philosophy to which she's been exposed. And while she senses that Sanders' admiration for her is more than mere friendship, Joan's true passion is knowledge, something that is nearly impossible for her to attain. As a woman, she has no place in the intellectual salons and cultural community of the day. Only in disguise can she learn her heart's content. Joan's covert intellectual endeavors, coupled with Sanders' theatrical triumphs, attract the attention of none other than Francis Bacon. Well, that's kind of an interesting setup. I don't think I got the advanced copy of this book. That's kind of an interesting setup, that in order to pursue his fame, Sanders dresses as a woman, and in order to pursue her passion, Joan has to dress as a man. Francis Bacon, natural philosopher and trusted advisor to Queen Elizabeth. It is through their connection with Bacon, one of the greatest minds of their time, that their lives will be changed forever as they become embroiled in an intricate game of political intrigue that threatens their very survival. Okay, how do I know you? Nicole Galland is the author of the historical novels Godiva, Iago, I read and I think reviewed. If I can find it, if the internet hasn't swallowed it, and I did review Iago, I will link it down below. And also something called The Fool's Tale, which sounds really familiar. That sounds really familiar. And she co-wrote The Rise and Fall of D.O.D.O. with Neal Stephenson. Okay, so I've crossed paths with this author before. Let's see how Boy starts. Oh, there's theatrical curtains there. That's a nice design. Let's see. How does Act 1 start? When the rest of the city had puddles, Southwark had bogs. Some said Southwark was itself a bog. The parish was the unwholesome hindquarters of London, south of the Thames and out of the city's father's moral purview. Under the lenient eye of the Bishop of Winchester, every manner of English low life and high life was at hand. Afternoons and evenings, visitors crowded the streets. Women of all social classes thronged with their men into the clutch of buildings called the Paris Gardens to place bets on the survival of either tethered bears or half-starved dogs attacking them. No matter if the dogs or the bear got the worst of it, everyone enjoyed the bloody mauling, and someone's wallet was always plumper for it. Bachelors and those feigning to be bachelors repaired to the seedy rooms above the bear baiting, where women wearing practiced smiles and too much perfume efficiently satisfied all carnal cravings. Visitors, less inclined towards violence or sex, crowded the many stuffy, underlit taverns and alehouses, vying with each other at dice or cards. They stunk up the air, smoking the New World weed, tobacco. Everyone drank too much and sang songs they'd learned from the ballad sheets glued to the tawny plaster walls, chanties and work songs and drinking songs, sometimes accompanied by whatever lute or virginal was present. Under cover of the boasting, brawling, and laughter, some fled to avoid their gambling debt, or tavern bill. Some puked or pissed into dusky corners, mostly men, but women too. Everyone was welcome to sin in the seamy underbelly of Her Majesty's great city. That's the opening paragraph of the book. Okay, all right, that's pretty atmospheric. All right, so Boy, no idea of the time, and then we have the box. Which is really well taped. So I'm thinking it's from one of you. It could be a violation of rule number 1. Let's see. Those of you who are new to the channel, rule number 1 is don't send me a book. I have enough books. Don't send me a... okay. All right, yes, this is not a violation of rule number 1 because I requested this. One of you went to a library book sale. I think it was a library book sale, and sent me pictures of the result. This is actually a very common thing. I'm not complaining in the slightest. A great many of you now take pictures of your library book sale halls, the used bookstore hall, the charity shop hall, so that you can just send them to me. Just show me the pictures. And a lot of those pictures are accompanied by pictures of your widow ones, of your dogs, your cats, your other forms of pets. It's rather adorable. It's an incredible fringe benefit of being on BookTube that I get that kind of mail. And one of you sent, of course, the danger of sending me all of your library book hauls spread out on the bedshed, is that I'm going to demand one of them. And since you all are my thralls, you must obey. It's a terrible thing, is that Steve might reach out and grab something that you actually want. And I did that. So this person, I commanded them to send me this book. This is 20th Century Journey, The Start, 1904 to 1930. By William Shire. And I got this, I wanted this not only because it's been forever since I read this book, and I really want to read it again, but also because this publisher, Bantam, they did this design. I've talked about it before, where you have the cover artwork runs in the middle of the cover. There was one about paratroopers, there was one about submarine warfare, there was one about the Battle of the Bulge. All 3 of these volumes were done this way. And I really like this. I really like this format. If the person had sent me a picture of their library book haul, and this had been just an ordinary hardcover, I probably wouldn't have wanted it. But I like this format. Oh boy, yeah, this goes on the reading pile for tonight because this guy's great. But there's something else in here, something that I did not request. What is this? This inexplicably ended up at my local Goodwill some time back. It may be of no interest, but I couldn't help but think it would have a better home at Hyde Cottage. Well, what is this? It's all wrapped in bubble wrap. What is this? Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, incredible. Where did this come from? It's a framed painting. Look at this. This is 25 Beacon Street. There's the State House. I know this address. I know every single room. I know all the basement spaces. I know everything about that building. Not that that singles it out everywhere on Beacon Hill. I know that about every building on Beacon Hill, but how incredibly lovely. What a stately little thing. Oh, well, all right. There is no rule number one about sending me artwork. So this definitely doesn't. Oh, this is just wonderful. Well, isn't that unexpected? How fantastic. Okay, great. So that is our mail. We have the 20th Century Journey. William Shirer just making a narrative out of his journals. And boy, which for all I know might be out already. I'll have to look this up. I got no sheet. I don't believe I got this in advance. So fiction and nonfiction. And then a wall painting of 25 Beacon Street. Incredible. All right. Okay, great. So that is the mail for today. So I'll wrap this up. I never know what I'm going to get in the mail, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.